Good evening, I do this every Sunday, don't I? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Weather Fans Live here on Sunday, the 13th of April 25. Hope you're all well this evening. It's just me, myself, and I tonight, as well as you lot in the background as well. We've noticed we've had someone in the comments already. It's our own Gav. Good evening, hi, Weather Fans. Hi, everyone. Just had my dinner, now heading out for an evening walk. Have a great live stream, guys. Thank you so much, Gav. Thank you so much for leaving the message for us. Hope you're well this evening. Good evening to Laura Johnson. Hope you're well. And here's our little Rachel sneaking through. Good evening to Anne Smith. Thank you for coming in this evening. And Laura Johnson's asking, is it Blockbusters? It is indeed. Don't ask me what version it is. It's some kind of Blockbusters. Don't know what kind of era. So I'm probably still guessing perhaps the early 90s, maybe late 80s. Bob Holness, God bless his soul. Excellent presenter on that. Good evening to our mod, Paul James. And Matthew's asking if you can have a pee, please, Bob. You should have gone before you've come to the live, but you can indeed, Matthew. Good evening to Audio Coffee. Hope you're well this evening. Who else have we got? Rachel's found a yellow chick Easter bag. Hopefully it's full of chocolate. Good evening. All Easter is coming up and so is the rain. Well, you've got to think it has been dry for more or less the last 6 weeks or so. We always expect some kind of pattern change at some point, but unfortunately for us, it knows when the bank holiday is on its way, doesn't it? Or just saying, I like to take thunderous showers like now because I'm really done with this nice weather. Would you be saying that if you were 6 feet underwater? But then again, if you don't like the heat, then you'd probably say, yes, you'd rather be underwater in a nice way, obviously. Right, this evening, I'm just going to take a look at the normal, really. Have a look at the latest, what's going on out there today. We'll take a look towards the Easter weekend, see how's that looking. We'll have a look at the ECMWF 12Z run, which Gav couldn't show this in because obviously the clock's going forward. It's no longer in his live time frame. And we'll see the latest on the any storms for America as well. And obviously, with the weather changing, we'll have a look, see if there's any potential for us here in the UK this coming week. Matthew's confirming it was the late 80s, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think that obviously in time, I think some shows actually do like update their soundtrack to the start of their programs. And I don't know if that was like during the 80s or early 90s. I think it was it in 86 it maybe started? Correct me if I'm wrong. Ran through to about 1998 on ITV. I think it was Bob Holness. I think Simon Mayo did the Sky One revival. I think was it back perhaps in the mid 2010s maybe. Audio Coffee Hot Weather. He calls extra flare ups where I can't reach it. Oh, not nice. Did you watch the football, Paul James? If you're thrown to Man United, well, don't even go there. Just been a laughing stock for Man United this season. Paul James saying it was 83 to 93, the original Blockbusters. Okay. I thought we ran a bit later than that. And good evening to Suit you, sir. Good evening to Suit. Hope you are, my friend. And here is the one and only Snippy. Double clicking there. Good evening to Steffi. Hope you're well. Finished mowing my lawn just in time as with the light shower. As soon as I put it away. Was that around about, I think it was probably maybe about 6-ish, 6:30. Because I know we had like a bit of a, like perhaps a bit of a shower here about 6:30. Obviously, you're towards just slightly towards my south, unless there was a south passing towards the south. I hope you're well on this Sunday night, Steffi. You had 2 power cuts yesterday, and it wasn't nice. Was that a local area thing, or more like a big town thing? PJ saying it premiered on ITV on August 29th, 1983, and ran for 10 series until the 19th of May 93. It was very popular with the universities, wasn't it, if I remember correctly? Polness was a good presenter. I did see some of that as I was growing up in the late 80s, early 90s. Oh, the comments just jumped again. Good evening, Anne Smith again. The whole village went out yesterday. Hopefully it wasn't for too long, Suit. Was it a short thing, or was it quite a few hours that happened? Thank you. Yeah, it was around about 6ish. It wasn't much, so just need a lot more to fill one of my empty water butts. It's been very dry. Even my weather station since the start of March, I've still hardly had 7.6 millimeters, and what we know, that's probably about a good 6 weeks now. We're getting close to 7 weeks, but we've not even had 10 millimeters of rain. Really, this wet weather we're perhaps getting this week is probably just well needed. Just the gardens do need a good watering and the land, really. As I was with my daughter earlier on, having a kick around on the field near us, there's so many huge cracks in the ground. Thought I could lose my daughter down with them. Was that getting that crack a good few centimeters? No rain here to have 4 empty water bins. Yeah. Oh, what's happening there? Jumped ahead there. Blockbusters also video shop. We cannot forget them. Remember going to them back in my younger years, like many of you on here as well. Suit. It was interesting that some streets came back on while others stayed out for 4 hours. I think it's down to the circuits as well, isn't it? Right. Shall we have a look at the very latest out there? I'm just going to bring up the screen there. You talk to me. Rachel was born in 82. I've just seen on the bottom of my screen now, so I'm just bringing up the charts. Begin to notice, even though I'm plugged into the internet, my signal looks like it's trying to drop. So if I do suddenly cut out, I do apologise. So I've got I'm actually fully plugged into the internet. I don't know why I'm losing signal. My signal's dropping. Right, where are we? Let's have a look at the latest temperatures out there. There we go. Just bear me a second. It seems like my system's slowing down slightly. I don't know if it's a StreamYard thing or is it just my internet? I don't know. So hopefully it's not going to cause too many problems. And again, it's been a while since I've had problems with the internet connection. So yes, let's have a look at the latest temperatures out there at the moment. So we're just going to have the maps. So obviously it's been a warm few days, and obviously the weather has now changed. We've now got temperatures as of, what time is that? As of 8 o'clock. Temperatures around about 11 towards the southeast. I'm going through up to the Midlands, around about 9-10 degrees. Obviously, it's a bit cooler in these showers, probably take a few degrees off. 8 and 9s down towards the southwest of England. Up through Wales, we're looking at about 6 or 7 degrees. I'll look at some of these cameras in just a second. We've got 4s and 5s and 6s across much of northern England. Oops. Up in Scotland, we're looking around about 3-4 degrees. Towards the northeast of Scotland, looking around about 8 degrees. So a nice bit of sunshine there. Where's that D side up and towards northeast of Scotland? So look around the Leeds area. So again, clear skies there from 26 minutes ago in Parnell, just north of Leeds. And where's this taken from? Let's have a look. Roughly, I'm guessing perhaps Nottinghamshire. Again, some clear skies there. And Norwich is looking quite wet, actually, from like 2 minutes ago, looking at that. So I'm guessing there might be a shower passing through there. Let's have a look at the last 24 hours. Seen too much of the sky now. So I've had some sunshine during the day. There's like maybe a few showers during the day there. And even on that last shot there, looks like there might have been some showers passing through. I'll look at the radar in just a second. So that's on the Norfolk coast. So look towards the south coast there. Between Southampton and perhaps Weymouth, Sturminster, Marshall, looks like quite clear there. And Laughter Tor, looking quite clear there. Obviously, there's a few bit of cloud coming in there towards the left of the picture. And is that down the Isles of Scilly? That's interesting. Let's have a look. St Martin's there down in the Isles of Scilly, and looking quite pleasant there as well. All right, let's have a look at the latest radar. So yes, where that camera is, let's zoom in. Change the settings for that. So let's change that decibel into millimeters. There we go, that's a lot better. So obviously we've got a few showers around. Let's zoom in. Still trying to get to grips of this. So yeah, we've got, obviously where that camera is, there's that rain towards north of Norfolk there. Got some showers coming through East Midlands into East Anglia there. Some heavier bursts towards Cambridge. So have a look at that camera there. Is that going to let me click in? So that was updated 2 minutes ago. Hopefully it may have just already passed through when that was taken. Let's level up towards the south. We've got some showers towards the London area, down into southern counties. Some showers towards southwestern England. We've got a few heavy showers, coming through Wales into parts of the far West Midlands towards Telford. So look at that camera there, see if we've got any view of that. If it's facing westwards. Not quite. We're getting blinded by the sun there. That's from 40 minutes ago. Let's have a look further north. We've got some showers heading up towards the Isle of Man. Let's zoom out. Also some heavy showers up through Glasgow. Let's have a zoom in because it seems like there's a bit of a heavier pulse there. There's any cameras? I've got the Glasgow camera. So yeah, you can see the cell there actually on the Glasgow camera from the University of Glasgow, from the library. So there's the cell just here. I'll make sure I'm still on the screen. Yep. Back onto that. So, yeah, some showers still affecting parts of western, well, a few areas of Scotland there, western Scotland up into northeast of Scotland. As you can tell with the wind flow at the moment, we've got more of a southwesterly. By this time last week, we had the winds more or less coming off the North Sea, feeling a lot cooler. So let's have a look at the latest wind gusts. So there's a few spots there around about 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts across much of England, whilst we're looking around about 10 to 20 miles per hour. So nothing too significant. Why is that still showing up there? Do I need to click out of that? Don't know why that's still showing Glasgow on there, but we'll come off this in a second. Let's see if there's any thunderstorms around at the moment. Oh, no, it's showing the Cape. I'll have to go on to my usual line detector. Just bear with me a second. Just down seconds, I have a bit of a problem here. Right. That's so. It was actually shown, but my line detector is shown here towards the south of Cambridge, actually. Let's just confirm that is correct on my other ones, just to make sure that is correct. Yeah. So there's some lightning that have been actually detected there just to the south of Cambridge, and also that's south towards the northwest of Scotland, just southwest of Glasgow. So yeah, that's how that was saw with that heavier burst has shown some lightning strikes been detected on there. So let's go back to the other tab. So have a look at the satellite imagery. Zoom out and have a look what Europe's doing right now. Obviously, it's getting dark across actually Europe, so it's not really shown properly in HD, so that's no good. Let's just try that. No, that's shown mostly Atlantic. Let's try that one, unless I have to go to my favoured one. I'll have to go to my favoured one. Sorry about this, people. So hopefully that's up on the screen now. It is indeed. So here is the latest satellite imagery across Europe. And we've got plenty of thunderstorms through Iberia as we speak. Actually, let's at the moment, let's click into the UK and have a closer look at the UK. Then we'll have a look towards Iberia, where most of the thunderstorms are right now. So yeah, there's also been a lot of cloudy skies across England and Wales during the day. Obviously, some of these have been giving us a few showers. Seems like there's some clearer spells behind this. We've got those cells there towards East Wales into the Midlands. We're also seeing sort of thunderous showers there coming into southwest Scotland. Southwest of Glasgow. You can see the tops of these just here. And more showers falling behind coming into Western Ireland as well. So let's zoom back out and take a look at Iberia, where these lucky people have got all these thunderstorms. So it looks like possibly a supercell there actually coming out of North Africa. I think that's Algeria, if I'm not mistaken. Sounds like a proper supercell there. Right, let's bring that back to daylight. Let's put it back to around about 7:30. So yeah, there's also definitely like a supercell there coming out of North Africa into the Med. So it's not quite affecting the Balearics. We've got some thunderstorms affecting eastern Spain. Some heavy showers also affecting central areas of Spain as well. Further west into Portugal, less in the way of showers, thunderstorms. It's just a shame. It's just like going dark as those thunderstorms are really lasting off there. I wonder if Estafex is back in action, because I know they can go quiet over the winter period. Let's have a look, see if they put anything out for there. Nope, they've got nothing at all out as we speak. Let's zoom back out and have a look at the mainland Europe. Let's put the infrared on. So yeah, after what's been a prolonged dry spell, which instead of being just Iberia that's had the low pressure, much of Central Europe now is getting unsettled. So we've got there's plenty of thunderstorms affecting eastern Spain into the Western Med. We've got low pressure sat towards our northwest, that circulation just there. And we're now in a southwesterly flow. So let's have a look at the facts charts. This is the human interpretation of what's going on out there right now. So just make sure that's flicked over nicely. Yes, it has. So these are the facts charts as of 6 p.m. this evening. So there's that band of, shall we say, cloud that's given us some showers just during this afternoon. And in fact, just a little bit of ridge of high pressure coming from the southwest, but it's very brief. And there's that trough there, which has given some heavy showers to parts of Scotland. As we've seen, there was a few problems with thunder in that. And there's that swirl we saw with that low pressure set out towards the northwest of the UK. And also here, this is where we're seeing there's big storms coming out of northern Africa. And you've got a little trough there, which has given us thunderstorms to eastern parts of Spain. And you've got some of these weather fronts we see on the satellite, which has given some spells of heavy rain through parts of Central Europe. So what's happened in the next 24 hours? We've got weather fronts coming in from the west, giving us plenty of rain or showers. It could be drier towards the southeast with that brief ridge of high pressure, which is obviously moving in right now as we speak. And we've just got all these weather fronts waiting for us for this coming week, really. So heading into midnight on Tuesday, we've got an area of low pressure coming towards the southern parts of England into parts of Normandy. Just bring it up a little bit. We've got a weather front out towards the west of the UK, again, bringing spells of rain or showers. That low pressure still sat towards the northwest of Scotland. As we head into Tuesday, that low through Normandy actually moves up from move up from the south, giving perhaps a bit of a wet spell through Tuesday. Actually, we'll have a look at some of the convection in just a moment. Just out towards the southwest, we've got all these lines of convection, really. Troughs running through on this flow from the northwest. So there could be more thunderstorms there for parts of Iberia, into parts of France, in through the Balearics as well, and also through Central Europe, through around Italy and Swiss, well, through Switzerland and those kind of areas as well. It's midnight on Wednesday. That low pressure still sat across England and Wales. Again, plenty of rain or showers as possible through this. And that continues its progress northwards up into Scotland. So it could be slightly drier towards the south. Well, showers could actually break out, towards England and Wales. Let's move through into Thursday. Again, low pressure virtually on the top of the UK, producing rain or showers through the day on Thursday as well. We just need to keep an eye on that. Could that with our next low pressure? Depends if the jet stream is coming up towards the UK. There's actually a bit of a low actually through Central Europe there. That could cause some issues, maybe some flash flooding potentially, depending on how heavy that rain is. So let's have a look at the latest GFS. And once I've looked at that, so I'll have a look, see how you're all doing in the comments. So this is the latest from the sorry, it's not it's the GFS 12Z run. So that put the surface low on there. So high pressure stuck back towards the Azores. We're in control of low pressure. Let's move that through for the next few days. Low pressure in charge. There's that low coming up from the southwest through Monday. And literally just sits on top of the UK into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So literally for the rest of this week, really. And even into Good Friday, because obviously it is the Easter weekend. And with all that dry spell, Mother Nature sure knows when it's the bank holiday, doesn't she? So low pressure literally sat across the UK, even into the start of next week. And low pressure still sat there around the UK as we even head into this time next week. High pressure is trying to build across the UK from the north and from the south. Does that fully take control, especially across northern areas? It does. So that should start setting things down in about 10 days' time. But with that, we are still under a bit of a north to northeasterly flow, so it's not going to be feeling that warm, especially the wind coming off the North Sea. We'll have a look at the upper air temperature in just a moment. And then through the back end of this chart, looks like high pressure is trying to retrogress back into the Atlantic and potentially bringing out some low pressure down from the north. So not exactly going to be feeling warm through that period. So let's look back and have a look at the upper air temperatures, see how mild or cool it's feeling. Obviously that mild air that we've had over the week, well, start of the weekend, late part of last weekend, late part of the week has now gone bye-byes. We're under relatively cool air for now. There's that low pressure movement from the southwest through the start of the week. And it's looking relatively, I'll say more average to cool, really. There's no signs of anything mild or cold at this stage during this week. Next weekend, we're looking around about average. then that's when we start during mid of part next week, showing signs of that high pressure moving down from the north. Is that going to introduce much cooler air? It's not really showing any signs. It might just get down towards Denmark, but nothing significant there. We've got these weather fronts coming down from the northwest as we back end of the charts. And it's looking nothing too significant. Might be a bit cooler towards north of Scotland, but nothing to write home about. Where shall we look next? Let's have a look at the rainfall. This is low resolution, so obviously it's just not going to be the whole area that you see like on the screen now is going to be all rain. But we'll have a look at the high resolution of the Met Office Euro in just a moment. So obviously we've had a few showers during the afternoon for parts of Scotland, England, Wales. Through into tomorrow, there's a weather front coming in from the west. Obviously, some of these could be showers through the day on Monday. Then we get that weather front coming up from the southwest through into Tuesday. I could see a spell of rain coming through. Much needed rain for some areas. Well, for most areas, in fact. There's some heavy bursts of rain there through Wales into Tuesday. And there's some showers around. Showing perhaps a drier day on Wednesday. Any showers or rain more northwest of England into Scotland and perhaps the southwest as well. And into Thursday, there could be risk of some heavy showers from quite a few areas. And into Friday, again, showing perhaps a band of heavy rain coming through on Friday. So that's something we need to perhaps keep an eye on. Much needed rain, as I mentioned. Again, risk of showers for Saturday into the Easter weekend. Then you can see the circulation with that low pressure sat on top of the UK. So that's the risk of showers into Sunday as well. I'm not showing as many for Easter Monday at this stage, maybe for some southern counties, perhaps northern England to southern Scotland as well. We're going to Tuesday out of this. And that's the one we start seeing high pressure perhaps building down from the north with a few showers for parts of Ireland into southwest Scotland. Let's go back and have a look at the Cape lifted. So the Cape and lifted. Just go through part today. So it wasn't too significant of anything Cape and lifted that springs out to mind. Obviously, we've had a few forms of thunder just around at Cambridge. Let's bring that down to 6 o'clock actually. And obviously, a bit around southwest of Glasgow. So let's have a look for the rest of this week. So the tiniest of Cape through Monday. Can't rule out the odd rumble of thunder through any showers on Monday. Also on Gab's Live, someone's asking about Tuesday, so let's have a look. And potentially some showers on Thursday. Can't rule out some rumbles of thunder in those showers. There's a slight bit of a Cape there, a bit of -1 there. There's that risk there. We could see maybe some heavy showers, perhaps thundering. Hail can't be ruled out in them as well. So at this stage, we're looking perhaps parts of the Midlands, maybe east, southeast of Wales. So probably like the M4 corridor, that what we're talking now, Warwickshire, Worcestershire, maybe through parts of the Midlands, into perhaps up to the Wash as well, potentially. That'll continue to move towards the northeast. So any showers develop will be moving up towards the northeast on Tuesday. Into Wednesday, again, showers. If there's any showers around, these could be, again, risk of some thunder on these. Again, set a spell continues into Thursday. And again, some of this You could see some thunderstorms with these showers through parts of the Midlands, up into especially northwest of England, into Cumbria as well, maybe southern Scotland potentially. And that moves up further into Scotland through Thursday. Into Friday, not showing anything like that at all for southern areas. Again, parts of Ireland into Scotland. Potentially there could be some heavy showers, which could be thundery. And we've got to Saturday, because obviously we're getting extended time of these shower risks. Again, it could be very slight, again, with the showers around. But at this stage, so that further ahead, we'll keep you updated on our Facebook page. So, yeah, looking back, some potential there. Very small risk there for Monday. There could be the odd rumble of thunder. But into Tuesday, potentially, we could see something through the Midlands, maybe parts of East Wales, maybe anything north of the M4 corridor at this stage. And as the day progresses into the evening, there's that potential up towards like Lincolnshire, Nottinghamshire, but Derbyshire, maybe very south of Yorkshire potentially. Running through again Wednesday, there's potential for some through Ireland, maybe into northwest England. Slight risk there for central eastern areas, perhaps down to southwest England. There could be the odd rumble of thunder. And again, is that more of a risk actually through Thursday? So let's have a look at the high resolution models, or model, shall I say, because we're going to have a look at the UKV. There we go. Let's have a look at the UKV, see what this is suggesting for us. Let's look at the precipitation rate. So again, there's those heavy showers showing across Cambridgeshire there that we saw earlier on. And it's even showing those cells there towards the southwest of Scotland near Glasgow. So let's see what's showing through into Monday. Showers out towards the west. There's a band of heavy showers coming through from southeast Scotland through into northwest England down through Western Wales. As I said, the odd rumble of thunder can't be ruled out on that. Distinctive line there. We've got some showers moving up from the south on into Monday. Again, maybe the odd rumble of thunder can't be ruled out as like a bit of a cell there in the far east of England overnight into Tuesday. There's a few showers moving up from the south again through into Tuesday there. So if any showers break through central areas, some of these could be thundery. And yeah, there's a line there coming through parts of the Midlands there. So some of these showers could be thundery through into Tuesday as they progress north to northeastwards. So we could be watching, I wouldn't say quite a line of thunderstorms, but a line of heavy showers, which some of these could be thundery. So it could be our first proper thundery shower risk for the season, really. So obviously it's been very dry since about February, really. Again, that risk into Wednesday. Overnight, I don't think personally we'll see any thunderstorms. I think it's just made during the heat of the day through Wednesday. We did see quite a bit of cape there through to Wednesday across northern areas. I think the resolution isn't showing potential there, so we'll have a look close to that in the next couple of days. There's no risk of showers coming up western areas into northwest England, not showing anything potent. Maybe the odd cell potentially through into Thursday. But obviously, close to the time, we'll have a better idea. And there's no heavy pulse or rain coming towards through the Irish Sea into Western Wales. So let me put my head into the streams. It's been a while. Let me scroll towards where I left off from, which is quite far. Look at this, so bear with me. Let me scroll to where I left off. See if anyone else has been in since. So he was asking about the thunderstorms next week. Well, unless you mean this coming week. So yeah, as I've just mentioned, there's a few. I think mostly Tuesday, maybe into Wednesday. There could be some risks there. Look at the high res models. I think more Tuesday as it stands. So it'll be very interesting for us. It'll be like our first proper potential of the storm season, really. Let's go through your comments. Matthew sends his birthday on Thursday. I will leave it there. Happy birthday for Thursday, Matthew. I have to agree with that, PJ. Don't bother with birthday. You don't bother with birthdays at my age, especially when you get at least 40. Yeah. Oh yes, there is the pollen count is very high at the moment, isn't it? Audio coffee. She's fed up of sneezing. So, are you mainly tree pollen or more grass pollen, audio coffee? Rachel said she once ate a whole pineapple once and it made her tongue bleed. I wonder why it caused that. Did you catch it on something sharp? Paul James, so when that turned 50, any birthdays stopped. Didn't realize it was that old, to be honest, PJ. I mean that in the most respectful way, obviously. Paul James also had a few light shows this evening. Sue's saying, I hope we have some thunderstorms this summer. We're lacking it at the moment. We won't talk about storm season 24. I'm at the age where I'm classified as Asian. No. Lee Stevens saying he's 39 in a couple of weeks. It should be illegal. Paul James enjoying his chopper. No, left please. It was a bike. That's what they all say. So not a ninja chopper. Oh, Joe. I missed the ability of being able to ride a bike in summer. I had the legs for it back then. Oh, bless you. And Matthew was saying you swapped your chopper for a spannable. Oh, Paul James saying he can hear the rain on his window. See a bit. Oh, excuse me. Saying English literature is his first exam. Oof. I was never a fan of English, to be honest. Hope your exams go well, Suit. I'm sure you do well, my friend. That was saying his rain wet. I can't remember. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Very dry. Just give me a second while I just blow my nose. I just realised all this time I've been chatting, I'm not even on the bloody screen. Let's bring myself to the screen there. There we go. Sorry about that. Excuse me while I just blow my nose. I'm not going to have that to show on screen. I'm just saying, can't remember. Can't remember the last time it rained. Yeah, it's been a while. I was saying that we did have a shower earlier on today. I think we had a couple. Around about 10 o'clock this morning, and we had one around about 5ish as well. Lee Stevens said that we need rain. Our lane is made of sculpings and it's ridiculously dusty. And Paul James has got puddles out now. Dehydrated puddles I've just seen. Laura Johnson saying she's got dust on her patio right now. What's that? It's funny, I've been watching a webcam based at the Trafford Centre overlooking where a giant water park has been built. There's only one tiny puddle in the middle of the development. It's going to be a crap water park if it's just that one little puddle, isn't it? I'm saying the sky's gone very clear and the wind has dropped, so I've just dashed out to cover my potatoes with fleece. Potatoes! Yeah, it has to rain at Easter. It's the law. We can't appreciate kids getting muddy looking for eggs. What's this site called? Was that referring to the charts at the beginning? Is it's Ventusky? Ventusky. Rachel's hidden too. Oops. Rachel's hidden too many eggs and 2 cream cakes in my wardrobe, and I hope hubby won't find them so I can gobble them up. Has anyone got your husband's number by any chance? But can tell him that way. Just going to any comments. Oh, that was 10 minutes ago. Goodbye, Suit. If you're perhaps watching on catch up, or maybe you're still lingering in the background, head just started to hurt. So I hope to see you again soon. Just take some water, maybe. I don't know if you may be dehydrated. If not, maybe take a paracetamol. Hope you get better soon. Suit. I'm just saying, looks like I picked the right week to stay in. Definitely. ECM, give me Wednesday as a wet and windy day for me. Thank you for reminding me. I'll show the ECMWF next, actually, before we head over to America. See the latest from over there. Still some settled weather to be had. Shouldn't be too bad in the sunshine. That's very right. The sun is very strong. The sun now is probably about as strong as it is around about middle to the end of August. So just be careful if you're out in prolonged sunshine. The UV levels will be still high. Good evening to UK Storm Seekers. Hope you're well. And saying the weather's been boring East Anglia. Hope it will liven up this year. You never know. A good southerly flow. You could get some of those from the storms coming up from the near continent. Oh, I mean, if there's any storms, which there won't be, there'll be no before they get here. We just don't know. Just don't know. It could have better storm season than you think of. Should have a better storm season than last year, believe me. All the pollen, I'm surrounded by woodlands. And Matthew saying is going to the zoo for my birthday. Just feels like I work in the bloody zoo sometimes, but we won't go there. Towards the bottom end of the chat, I'm up to 2046. We're about 6 minutes away from the bottom of the charts. Oh no, Audio, bless you. I'm done with hay fever. I'm just going to install a drip trail in my nose and have done with it. Laura's saying it's currently 6.2 degrees and a dew point of minus 0.1 degrees. Oh, yes, please. Instead of buy me a coffee on YouTube, it should be buy me an Easter egg this weekend. Yes, please. Good evening to James, one of our other mods. Good evening, all. Sorry I'm late. Hope everyone's having a good evening. Yeah, we're not too bad. There's a few out there suffering from hay fever with how dry it's been recently. And I'm actually at the bottom of the comments. So let's have a look at the ECM WF12Z. Nearly forgot that. So that should have now clicked over. So obviously our Gav can't show this at this time of year because obviously with the clock's gone forward, because it normally updates during the 6 o'clock lives. So this is the should be the ECMWF. Yes, it is ECMWF 12Z run. And so let's click through to Monday because we know what the weather's doing already. So low pressure set towards the northwest of the UK. It's got up a little bit. Try and get rid of that banner. So wind's coming from the southwest through into tomorrow, into Tuesday. There's that little area of low pressure coming from the southwest. Again, that centre of that low set towards northeast of the UK into Wednesday, remaining settled for the country. And into Thursday, lows kind of combining to this low pressure up here. Still got that bit of a southerly southwesterly flow into Thursday. And into Friday as well. Still low pressure in charge out towards like the Irish Sea area, really. Still got that southwesterly flow. Into Saturday, low pressure set towards north. We've got a bit of a westerly flow. Still things could be quite unsettled into Sunday. Low pressure set over towards the Faroe Islands. And got another perhaps low developing there towards the southwest of the UK, which could give a spell of heavy rain as it crosses the country into Monday. So again, it's going to be relatively cool, showery, possibly wet into bank holiday Monday. Surprise, surprise. Then into Tuesday, that low starts to sink towards the south. We've got pressure building up towards Iceland. And that potentially, like the GFS, should start sinking down towards the UK. And it does as we head into days 10. So then we've got high pressure starts to sink down from the north. We start to pick up an easterly off the North Sea. Still got low pressure towards the southwest. So potentially there could be some rain or showers affecting southwestern areas through into Wednesday, the 23rd. So again, this the GFS is showing that high pressure building towards Iceland and starts to push down towards the south. And I just thought, actually, the one thing I didn't ever take a look at was what the jet stream's doing. So I'm just get that set up ready. Then after we'll have a look at the jet stream, we shall take a look at the long range ECM WF. Then we'll take a look at the latest from across America. Just come back to your comments. Is that Matthew saying good night? Yes, have a great week, everyone. I need to get ready for work tomorrow. Good night and happy Easter. Good night to you, Matthew. Hope you have a nice sleep and hopefully your day shouldn't be too stressful tomorrow. All right, let's have a look at the latest from the jet stream from the GFS model. And all change, jet streams running right through across the UK from the southwest. So let's have a look what this is showing for the rest of this week. So jet stream right across the country. It's Tuesday. Wednesday, it's close to the UK, if not over the top. We've got that arm going through the Mediterranean as well. I think we did actually show there's actually showing like a deeper share of low pressure through the central Med through the later part of this week. Then into next Saturday, jet stream just towards us west of the UK. Then that's where it's then through into the start of next week. That high pressure has been across the UK. Kind of like splits really. You've got like more cut off actually towards through the Med. Then you start to see the jet stream getting pushed up towards the north of Iceland through into Tuesday the 22nd and 3rd. That allows that high pressure start to build. But this shown, I know of the jets actually still coming round, so potentially with that high pressure towards the north, coming off the North Sea there could be still some showers actually coming off the North Sea. So that's something we need to keep an eye on. So that's that high pressure, but that high pressure doesn't really last that long. So that's got that sinking back towards the Azores really, and it's allowing this dip in the jet stream through the back end of this run, but that's still a long way off yet. That's going to then show like a bit of a northwesterly flow of the jet stream at the back end, but that's taken with a pinch of salt. All right, let's have a look at the longer range from the ECMWF. So these are the weekly mean pressure anomalies from the ECMWF from the 14th to the 21st of April. And no surprise, low pressure set over the UK. So again, that's being winds up from the southwest, pretty much the UK between this time period. And then the 21st to 28th, as that low pressure more sensed out towards the central Atlantic, and where perhaps this could be a transition period where heights are more or less average. So could make sense there with low pressure at the start of the week, then with high pressure towards the end. So it's kind of maybe averaged itself out during that time, but high pressure up towards the north and through southwestern Europe as well. The 28th of April through to the 5th of May has high pressure sat over the UK. So winds potentially could be coming off North Sea towards northern areas, potentially more of a southeasterly through southern and southwestern areas. So it could turn a little bit more warmer actually through this time period if that was to come off, because obviously coming into May now and the land mass should start warming up as we speak. The 5th of May towards the 12th, that has that high pressure moved up towards more Iceland way and more perhaps into northeasterly, maybe an easterly flow there through the start of the second week of May. The 12th of May to the 19th, there's no real clear signal there. So it could be a changeable kind of pattern really, with high and low pressure at times coming through. And then the 19th of May to 26th, again, there's no clear signal really. Showing perhaps lower pressure down towards Western Scandi. So potentially we could be under perhaps a northwesterly flow, but so there's nothing really shown clearly on that. Precipitation-wise, with the same charts, no surprise really with low pressure across the UK. We're looking wetter than average, more wetter towards western areas. The 24th to 28th, we're still looking wet and average away from western Scotland and parts of Ireland. And the 28th of April through to the 5th, we are looking drier than average for much of the UK. The 5th to the 12th, we are looking around about average, but perhaps slightly wetter than average on these North Sea coasts there. The 28th of May to the 19th, we're looking slightly wetter than average. For some strange reason, looking around about average there for North Wales into northwest England and the far northeast of Scotland as well. And finally, 19th of May to the 26th of May, we're looking around about average on that. And finally, on this bit, before we head across towards the States, the 2-meter temperature anomalies from the 14th to the 21st of April. That warmth we had has now shifted towards Scandi and Eastern Europe. And this is showing slightly warmer than average towards eastern areas, and parts of most of Ireland are looking cool than average. Excuse me a second. The 21st of April through to the 28th of April, we're looking around average on that. Let's bring that key up actually. There we go. So yeah, we're looking around about average through that time period. And this is when high pressure builds in on the 28th to the 5th of May. So we're looking above average, only slightly. The 5th of May to the 12th of May, we're looking around about average to perhaps slightly warmer than average to some coastal areas. The 12th of May to the 19th of May, we're looking slightly above average. And finally, 19th of May to the 26th of May, we're looking slightly above average. Right. Let's bring myself back on the screen before we look at the one last bit of charts before we finish tonight. So that's the UK weather looked at. Let's go look at the latest week. We're just saying, had my family are not the brightest bulbs on the tree. Had to explain why not to take a brolly out in a storm. End up, yeah, go ahead. But if the handle tingles, drop it and run. It could be too late before then. It's not exactly as we know. The wisest thing to do through the thunderstorm is to have an umbrella. If you can help it, try to go out in a thunderstorm, especially if you're out in the open. Steph is saying, so are we going to get enough rain to make up for this dry spell, do you think? Personally, I don't think so. Looking at that, some areas could just have a spell of rain. Nothing's shown significant rain, like a good 30, 40, 50 millimeters. I think places that are dry, well, the rain coming this week, I don't think it's really going to touch the surface, so to speak, really. We just need a good deluge, really, to make up for the more than 6 weeks of dry weather. Stuart cladding on this building here absorbs the heat in a ridiculous manner. I'm not that far from having a fan running all day. Is that including winter as well? Right. Let's one more chart to look at this evening. As mentioned, let's go over to the US and have a look. Oops, I lost my tab there. Just get that on the screen if I find the mid tab. There we go. I can share that screen now. So it looks like it could be a quite start to the week. So let's head over to the Storm Prediction Center and have a look at that. So let's say it's quite quiet at the moment. There's just that marginal risk there for much of northern and central US. So the major cities in that, I suppose even show that because it's that marginal. I think it's when you get to level 2, really. So it's quite there at the moment. Let's have a look at day 2. So current day 2, there is a slight risk actually there. So the largest population, including Columbus, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Cincinnati, Ohio, Lexington, Fayette in Kentucky, and Charleston in WV. It's not one. It'll come to me in a second. West Virginia, I'm thinking that is WV. So the summary for this is there's a slight risk of severe thunderstorms from eastern Kentucky and Ohio into the central Appalachians. So scattered strong to severe thunderstorms are possible Monday from mid-afternoon to mid-evening across parts of the upper Ohio Valley and central Appalachians. And an upper low will deepen from Lake Superior into eastern Ontario on Monday with an amplifying upper trough from the northern plains into the Ohio Valley late. At the surface, a cold front will extend south from Ontario low, affecting Ohio and Kentucky prior to midnight. A narrow zone of mid to upper 50 Fahrenheit dew points will spread northeastwards ahead of the front with pockets of heating. This will lead to 1,000 to 1,500 kilojoules of CAPE from Kentucky into West Virginia, with lower values northward across Ohio into western Pennsylvania. Gradual height falls along with increasing mid-level moisture will overspread the geranial, I can't bloody say that. I know what I'm trying to say. Dryly prepared boundary layer of Kentucky, southern Ohio, and West Virginia, with scattered strong to severe storms developing by late afternoon. A strong deep layer shear will favor cellular activity with a couple of supercells possible despite the primarily veered westerly flow. Any rightward progression of the hydrograph will result in favorable SRHs, possibly supporting a brief tornado. Otherwise, hail is expected with the stronger cause with localized wind damage. So it's just that slight less, therefore, northeastern of America through Tuesday. Sorry, Monday. What day is it? Yes, Monday. Into Tuesday. There's just a very slight risk there. Sorry, rephrase that, marginal risk there for day 3, which is on Tuesday. Day 4. So with day 4 to 8 outlook. I need to stop this. So potential true low for day 4, day 5 is 15% chance of severe weather outlook, severe thunderstorms. And day 6, there's a huge line there from north towards northeast of America through into Texas there. If I could find a way to stop that, I would. So potentially towards the back end of this week, maybe Thursday, Friday, we could potentially looking at some thunderstorms developing across the central swath of America. But again, we'll keep you informed later in the week. Steph saying there, I know what you mean. The rain had at 6 p.m. barely wet the surface, and the rain in the forecast seems light. So, yeah. So there could be some big showers around through into Tuesday, which could potentially have some rumbles of thunder, but we shall see. I said I'm not really going to do much to the ground, perhaps just a bit of surface, but nah, it's not going to make up for the dry spell over the past 6 weeks or so. Right, I think we're about to end it there. I've realised I'm at the band across the south. They across the bottom there. Just realised I've updated my banner for tonight. We got one on standby. No, I haven't. Yes, but it'll be a second. Very professionally. With it being Easter next week, Gav will not be live next Sunday. He said on his live, but we will be. And let me just edit that because I've made a spelling mistake. That should be right this time. That's what happens when you're trying to do it quickly. There we go. That should be it now. So yes, when Dav's not live next Sunday, as it's Easter Sunday, we will be back next Sunday, and any updates of any storm potential will be on our Facebook page at Weather Fans. So any updates will be there. And yeah, I'll say thank you so much for joining me this evening. Thank you to our mods, PJ, Paul James, and James as well. And thank you all for watching. Can't believe we've done an hour and a quarter of me rambling on. Just have a look at your final comments. Thank you for a great live stream. Thank you, Laura. Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you from Steffi. And thank you for the mods as well. James is saying, have a good week, Michael. Good to see the weather's getting a little bit more interesting. Hopefully some thunderstorms around. Hopefully. Could be our first of something for this year. Well, this season. Audio saying, thank you, Michael. Look forward to the weather sending to chaos. Let's see what happens. Who's going to get thunderstorms this week? Let's have a look. And yeah, if you do get anything, please feel free to post any images or short clips onto our Facebook page. And if there's anything significant, we'll share it this time next week on Easter Sunday. And thank you as well, Anne Smith, for joining us this evening. And I think it's now time to get that clip rolled. Because Steffi says you may roll those credits. So thank you all much for watching. We'll see you next Sunday at 8 p.m. Good night for now.